You're listening to NT Paranormal After Dark. Nothing normal about it.
What's up, everybody? So, we're coming off of the last podcast, and my guests are laughing at me because I couldn't hear a freaking word you were just saying. What
I was
going
to have you put the camera on me, and I was going to be like, hi, I'm Ashton Rogers.
Here.
No, I don't want to do it now.
Oh, now you don't want to do it
now.
Okay.
The moment has passed.
I hate you.
Oh, okay. So,
And I have a headache.
So we got Stephen in here with us today because he came in for the...
we don't know who he is. We found him in the driveway.
We have no idea who he is. And the stupid camera's not set up right. There he is. How's it going?
Hello.
He's been on the show before.
I'm often talked about, but never seen.
Yeah. You went on one investigation with us.
Yes.
In which you tried to Final Destination all of us.
Yeah.
In the video.
Yeah.
And then
he did the Ancient Aliens one.
He called in and had absolutely no helpful information at all.
Like, hey, you want to
it's
be an
his
expert?
little
No.
brother that's the Ancient
I
Alien
even said
stuff.
during it, you should call.
We would rather have your little brother.
Well, then why don't you call him?
You need to call him. So, it's been an interesting week for me. Had a completely different show. Like, at the beginning of the week when I was thinking about doing a show, I had something else in mind. And then I got a gift in the mail, which is Debbie the doll. So you were giving Debbie a thorough examination before.
I don't know how to tell if it's antique or not, besides that it smells
Please
old.
enlighten us, Doctor.
No, you were looking to see if it was anatomically correct.
I just wanted to know.
Well, why were you checking that, though? Why were you checking for a vagina on a doll?
Curiosity?
Because back in the day, my mom had a bunch of antique dolls, and they all had crotches.
Are you sure your mom's not just weird?
Maybe. Well, we all know mom's weird. It also smells really old.
What does it smell like?
Old? Smell it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it smells like Meemaw's house. You know, that kind of like close to death, but not quite there.
Well, I mean, as you age, you do start to have a smell.
Yeah, so allegedly this doll is haunted or possessed or some such thing. Hi, I'm Debbie. To find where Amelia says you were looking to find where the demon was hiding, which was under here. You're not totally wrong. Like, when I first got the doll, like, one of my first instincts was like, okay, it's supposed to be an antique doll, so I'm sitting here, like, looking under its dress and like
seeing if it had like a name brand or
right,
something.
Yeah,
I was looking for.
I was trying to see if it had like a date or a signature or something like that on it. So, oh God, I even feel weird having my hand up. It's just,
it's a doll, Brad.
Sorry, Debbie.
I'm not sorry, Debbie.
No, we were just, and it's absolutely handmade. And at first I thought it was porcelain, but I think it's actually wood. I think it's painted wood is what it's made out of. Am I right or wrong? Like if you pull up on her head, like she's held together with like the bands inside.
It sounds hollow, but I don't.
Yeah, it's totally hollow, but
It
I don't
sound like plastic. Or
I don't think it's porcelain, and it's definitely not plastic. I think it's a hand carved wooden doll. It might be older than I initially thought. I thought it was a reproduction. But it's totally crazy how I came into this thing. So, came with this. It just came in a box, and they sent it FedEx, and the label on it didn't have a return address on it. And I'm like, okay, that's
no, that's
which I thought was really weird. I thought I'd ordered something and forgot, but then I was like, oh shit, is this a bomb?
Drunk
like,
Amazon.
I didn't know, and I threw it in here. I ate dinner. I came back in. I opened it up, and there's just this fucking doll inside. Like,
I went to pick it up, and its head just fell back. Like, ah!
Oh my God! When I opened the box, it was horrifying because her face was sticking out of the paper, just like and I'm like, oh my God!
Like, what spirit have I offended?
Your mother sucks dicks in hell.
She's got this really horrible lazy eye, and so anyway, It came with this 3-page letter.
Some kid probably loved this doll, dude.
Because it looked just like her.
Well, read the letter. Did you? I know you didn't watch.
I read the letter. I heard what the letter said.
Well, some of the people on here might not have got the letter because all through the investigation we've done the past 2 days, people are like, "What's up with this doll?" And I've had to repeat it. So,
Dear Ashton, first off, I apologize for sending this anonymously. I do not want anyone to know who I am, and I do not want the item I am sending to you to come back to me. I found your group online a while back, and I follow your page closely. I have never commented on anything, but I have had an experience I wanted to share with you. You have mentioned a few times in posts that you have wanted someone to send you a haunted item. In this package is a doll I think that you will find inhabited by something. I must warn you that this doll is not nice, and it scares me and my husband. I've wanted to throw it out for a long time. See, I'd be afraid to throw it out because then you come back in and it's on the bed.
It's just right there.
I have, so there's stuff kind of like, if you read in between the lines of the letter, I think they did try to get rid of it at one point, and it did come back. And then I think they tried the Bugs Bunny method, where they just like put it in a box and mail it.
This is like Tasmania, go.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw it out for a long time, but was afraid it would end up somewhere where it might harm someone. I was hesitant about sending it to you, but I figured even if it was bad, you would know how to take care of it. I am relieved that it will finally be leaving my home. I'll give you some background information on the doll and how it came to me. I like to collect antiques. See, that's your first mistake.
Just asking for it.
And I used to go
Wait, how do you... Oh, collecting antiques is a mistake. Okay, I thought you were saying, like, she screwed up in her hoax letter. Okay.
No, I doubt the letter's a hoax. I'm just not sure if the doll did the things that...
There's a stain on it.
It's also been bleached at the bottom, like it sat out in the sun.
Like it was in a stand next to a window.
Yeah. Most times my daughter Jennifer would go with me. Being only 6 years old, Jenny would get bored very easily and would get cranky after a while, and we would have to go home unless we could find a toy or something to keep her occupied while I browsed. At some point it became a thing where we would find her a doll to play with and keep her occupied because she would take a liking to them. Wow. During one trip we found the doll that I have sent to you. It immediately became her favorite doll and got to the point where she would never go anywhere without it. She told us that the doll's name was Debbie because that's what the little girl who owned it before her had named it. We asked why she thought that, and she said that Debbie told her. We did not think anything of it. It was just her being a kid. 2 years ago, we lost Jenny due to an undiagnosed heart condition not long after her 7th birthday. We were going to put Debbie with her at the funeral to keep her company, but for some reason we could not find her anywhere, and I was very upset. About a month later, when I was able to bring myself to clean up her room, I found the doll sitting on her bed. It was strange because I knew it had not been there before, and I thought maybe my husband had found it and put it there. When I asked him about it, he said he hadn't, and we could not figure out how it got there. After I cleaned the room and made the bed, I left the doll in the toy box and shut the door. I cried for several hours that night and fell asleep before my husband came to bed. The next day when I walked past her room, I noticed the door was cracked open even though I knew I closed it. I looked inside and everything was the same, but Debbie was laying on the bed. I figured my husband had gone in after me and was probably as upset as me, and decided to put the doll on the bed. Not thinking much of it, I closed the door and went about my day. Later that night, I was talking to my husband and said I thought it was nice of him to put Debbie out since it was Jenny's favorite, but he didn't know what I was talking about. He said he hadn't gone into the room at all. At first, I thought maybe I had been wrong and had left the doll on the bed, but I remembered that I put it in the toy box before closing the door. I started to get mad, but decided to drop it because I knew my husband wouldn't lie about that, so I had to be remembering wrong. Again, the next day when I woke up, I walked by the door and it was cracked open. When I looked inside, nothing would be disturbed and the doll would be left on the bed. But nobody had been in the room, so there was no reason the door should be open. This happened over and over, even though we would make sure the door was latched. It could not pop open without turning the doorknob. Even after changing the doorknob out, this would happen. This was annoying because we did not want our Chihuahua Maxine to go in the room because she would pee on the carpet and would sometimes tear up Jenny's other dolls. We noticed sometimes she would go in there and bark and growl at Debbie, which we thought was weird, but still didn't think much of it. One day I woke up to find the door wide open and Debbie sitting on the couch in the living room.
Whole bunch of nope.
I thought that Maxine had got it off the bed and put it on the couch, so I scolded her for it and put the doll back in the toy box where she couldn't get it.
So that's kind of important. So just to pause a minute. So one of the things, like, I'm trying to verify the story, like, however I can. So they thought maybe the dog, and that comes to my mind too. Maybe the dog was picking it up, moving it around. And so I was checking on the doll for teeth marks and stuff, and I really couldn't find anything like where maybe the dog grabbed it. I didn't notice the stain before though. Shows how brilliant I am. But the only
on the
like,
back of the neck is the only place that paints.
Yeah, but I think that's because the head wobbles around. So I didn't see anything where like maybe the dog had picked this up, but
No, it probably would have grabbed it by the hair anyway.
maybe
The hair or the clothes, yeah.
It would have got it here. But it was worth checking. Just wanted to note that I checked into that.
A few days later, it happened again, but we did not know how the dog had gotten it out of the toy box because she was so small and couldn't have gotten it out. And my husband said he hadn't moved it. I don't really believe in ghosts or things like that, but I was starting to think maybe Jenny's spirit was playing with the doll, and I felt silly thinking it. But it made me feel a little better because I missed her. This happened another time, and after that, I put the doll back out on the bed and we put the baby gate in front of the door so Maxine couldn't go in when the door popped open. One night at 1 a.m., I woke up to the sound of growling at the foot of our bed. Maxine was facing towards our bedroom door and was tucked up under the edge of the bed in a ball with her ears up. I woke up my husband and turned on the lamp, and nobody was there, but there was a light on in the hallway. My husband got up, and the light from my daughter's room, and the door was cracked open. The light was from my daughter's room, and the door was cracked open. And the hallway floor was Debbie. When he picked it up, the dog wouldn't stop barking until he put it back in Jenny's room. At first, he thought the dog had got it again, but realized the baby gate hadn't moved. He was scared about the doll after that, but I told him I thought it was just Jenny's spirit playing with the doll. We didn't believe in that sort of thing.
Totally rational, by the way.
But after everything so far, we were coming around. It was 2 nights later, I woke up because I thought I heard the front door open. Worried someone had just broken into my house, I woke up my husband, who turned on the light and ran into the living room. Finding no one there and the door still locked up, he found my daughter's room open again with the light on. Coming back down the hall, he found Debbie on the floor again and picked it up. We then realized that we had not seen or heard Maxine. That's when we found her under the edge of the bed. She was dead. She did not have any medical issues we knew about, but had died after throwing up something black all over the floor where we found her. My husband said she must have gotten into something poisonous, but we never could find out what it was. After that night, nothing happened for a while, but after a month later, it started up again, and this time we did not have the dog to blame. It started to scare my husband, and he told me to get rid of it. But I did not want to. This caused several arguments, but I did not want to get rid of my daughter's favorite toy. These arguments, along with others, led us to get divorced. We sold the house when we separated, and I kept the doll with me and some of her other toys. I should have listened to him, because after that, it was when Debbie started to get mean. I would leave the doll in bed with me at night when I went to bed feeling like my daughter might come visit me, but would trip over her in the night when she ended up on the floor. I started to have nightmares about a black figure staying next to my bed that would sometimes scratch me, but when I woke up there would be nothing there, but in the floor would be Debbie.
People are sending me photos of their haunted dolls now. Just by the by.
So it took them forever to realize they were living in a horror movie.
I saw a video about cursed and possessed items and thought that might be what this was, because I remembered that Debbie got her name because my daughter said the doll talked to her. I also felt guilty. I feel guilty now because sometimes I think the doll might have made her sick. After I saw your podcast and Sarah talked about sleep disorders, it sounded like the shadow by my bed. So I went to the doctor, and he told me that it could be sleep paralysis, the sleep paralysis you talked about. Now I take medication, but it made it even worse. I told my sister about... I have something to say about that when I'm done. I told my sister about all of it, and she wanted to burn the doll, but I said no. If it really is a demon, it could get out. Is that a thing?
Yeah, totally. If you destroy whatever the demon's attached to, it's free.
Oh, wow. But she told me...
At least by D&D standards. I mean, I don't know.
It worked in The Ring, too.
But she told me that her dogs now growl at the garage door. Her sister put it in her the garage at her apartment. But she said now the dogs growl at the garage door, and a few times they have her banging in there at night. She told me that if I was unwilling to burn it or throw it out, then I needed to find some ghost hunters to take it and cleanse it. So I'm sending it to you, so it doesn't hurt anyone else, and you can do what you need to with it. Sincerely, Jay.
It's funny that she needed to find some ghost hunters to cleanse it, and then she found we're like the absolute wrong group for that.
But we know Elena.
Yeah.
We know some people. We know.
What was your comment?
Sleep paralysis. I've said it before when we talked about it. The problem is it's two different neurotransmitters that do this. There is no medication that blocks both neurotransmitters. And in the absence of one, the other can double down, causing sleep paralysis to worsen.
So there's that, and that's kind of one of the things. There were two major things in the letter that are cluing me off that it might not be 100% truthful. Okay, so when in the very first paragraph where she's talking about it, she refers to her ex-husband as her husband.
Yeah, but she's talking about the past.
Maybe. I don't know.
And after a while, it becomes a force of habit.
Yeah, and Emilio had brought it up, so I want to address it. And so I had that initial first thought. I'm like, after I'd read it all the way through, I was like, and then I read it again because I didn't believe any. I'm like, what the crap? I still refer to Bethany as my wife sometimes, and we've been divorced like 8 years.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Yeah, I just it becomes second nature. I don't think about it. Yeah, so that did stick out when I read it the first time, but that's not really like that. The sleep paralysis thing, though, it was interesting that she brought that up because she said she saw the episode where we were talking about parasomnias, and that clued her into that, and she went to the doctor, and they prescribed something for it.
They do prescribe things for sleep paralysis.
I thought they didn't. The last conversation I had, they didn't.
Some doctors will, and most of the time they're antidepressants. The problem is there is not one that works on both of the, and I'd have to look it up to find both the neurotransmitters. The best ways to prevent sleep paralysis are don't lay on your back. Only sleep at night. Try to limit things that are going to wake you up. Sleep with a mask on. Sleep with earplugs in. And if you think you're having a sleep paralysis episode, focus on one thing alone. Focus on saying a word. If you're religious, for my mom, focusing on the word Jesus helps her. Not my area to judge. I focus on moving my pinky finger. If you're focusing on something, it makes it feel like it's moving faster. Now, if it's not sleep paralysis,
and it's a fucking demon-possessed doll sitting in your room, I don't think any amount of focus is going to help.
Emilio says.
Don't sleep. God, her eyes creep me out because one's looking down and away, and one's looking like up and to the left. It's just...
I'm telling you, Debbie looks like the girl who first owned her.
Debbie.
That's probably her hair.
Oh God.
So
this isn't my house.
The little girl.
So after just based on the letter, right? Because that's all we have.
I also want to say that I really don't think the doll made the little girl sick, and I don't think the mom should feel guilty about that. There are a lot of heart disorders, and you'll find it very frequently with football players, where all of a sudden they'll just die. That's why they keep AEDs, the defibrillators, on football fields now.
Yeah, but that's when they're older.
It can
happen
happen at any time. Where your kid, and because they don't, that's why you have to do an EKG now before you can join a sports team. It's never anyone's fault. It's not because you bought the doll. It's just really god-awful luck.
So you do kind of believe the story.
I don't know why I would doubt the story. I doubt the doll?
It seems kind of out there. Like when I was first reading, I was like, this is too much. This doll keeps popping up at different places. But when I reanalyzed the letter, situation by situation, certain things kind of popped out to me that made me a little more interested in it. Because in each situation, whoever wrote the letter has kind of some logic.
They rationalized away how it happened.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we thought the dog picked it up and moved it here. She never really says until I guess in the introduction of the letter, she says, hey, I think there's something attached to this. Here's why. But it is progressive, I noticed. And there's a long period of time where they had this doll before anything happened other than
it's talking to their kid,
but it never did anything on its own.
Even if I didn't believe the rest of the letter, I would never say someone who had a kid passed away. I would never call that person a liar.
Yeah, I'd feel really horrible if I did, and then that person actually came forward and we found out that happened. So
but I could also very well see something like that.
It seems like a lot of association, like looking for a reason things happen, sort of thing. And I think that's how a lot of these doll myths, like legends or urban legends or whatever, kind of come to be because people were like trying to put a reason to something. And they're creepy because you have the whole uncanny valley thing. It looks too human to ignore, but not human enough to embrace as one of our own.
That freaking creepy uncanny valley AI chick.
She wants to greet you all.
What are your impressions? So y'all think this is actually an antique? Because like,
what are we calling an antique?
Yeah, how old does it have to be an antique? I mean, if this was some kid's toy in like the 50s or something, but I mean,
yeah, 50s would be an antique, 50s, 60s,
then maybe. But I mean, I would try and look.
I'd say
it doesn't look like a reproduction. It looks like it's so it may not be old, but it's definitely looks like
about antiques,
hand carved and put together.
And I've never owned a doll in my life, so
I mean, it could be somebody's representation of Laura Ingalls. We don't know.
Oh, hey, Phil from the UK says hi.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Phil's had a lot of conversations with this doll over the past 2 days online.
I don't like, I just never like as a little girl, people were always buying me dolls. Oh, you're a little girl. Take this god-awful thing and put it in your room so it can stare at you at night.
My sister's room was full of them.
Oh, God, I know.
I had to sleep in there once.
Do y'all get any kind of like creepy vibe? I mean, it's perfectly harmless here.
We're the least empathetic people.
Yeah, I know. Like when I opened it up, it looked creepy looking out, but you know, everybody that I showed online, they're like, "Oh, that doll's creepy," and I'm like, "Actually, it's
there are a lot of people out there who would have just left the house when they opened the package."
The creepiest thing about it is that it smells like death. It smells like it killed somebody. So, what do you think might have killed the dog?
The black stuff that came out of its mouth? That's probably just blood.
Yeah, it probably had some sort of GI bleed.
I mean, is there any information that we can glean from the letter, do you think? Or you think it's all just... Did any
neighbors have rat poison out? Because doesn't that cause internal bleeding?
I only have the information that's in that letter, but...
I think some rat poisons do.
I don't know anything specifically that makes things throw up black.
Rat poisons are anticoagulants. Have you ever thrown up blood? When you do, it's generally black.
Yeah, it looks like coffee grounds.
Okay, so the husband in the story, the husband could have been right. It could have got into something,
and they would never have known.
Yeah,
right. And it sounds like one stupid dog.
Well, I mean, it was a little yap dog,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't like to have, I wouldn't want to have one of those either. I'd probably poison it.
Allie says she thinks she's pretty. I think Allie needs the doll to go with the rest of her.
Allie just bought a bunch of dolls she wants us to check out, and I think we need to set up a play date for the dolls. Really? And I also want to take this doll out to Kyle. So, you know, most people get a creepy doll in the mail and they'd probably set it on fire. My initial reaction was, hey, I'm just going to put a live stream on it for 48
and then
hours.
I'm going to take it to the creepiest place on the planet.
Yeah.
What if the doll wants to leave?
So that's how I found out Facebook has a 4-hour streaming limit.
Really?
Yeah. So I just put this up over here in the corner, and I stuck an EMF detector behind it. And of course,
I didn't watch it. I read the comments, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't the most controlled experiment. Like, that wasn't the point. Like, the big thing is the doll's supposed to move around on its own. So
I still want to borrow it and stick it in Caitlin's room.
Without telling her?
Yeah.
I support this decision, but it does violate rule number 1. What's rule number 1, Sarah?
Don't bring any of the ghost hunting stuff home.
That's right.
Oh, plus, it was a little dog. It wouldn't have had to eat very much rat poison.
So I stuck it over there. I set it on a crate. I set it down. I put a camera on it. And what I was looking for was movement. I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot of controls you got to use.
When have we ever gotten movement out of anything?
The letter says it moves. Are you going to not test that?
You just met her. Why would she move for you? Hang out with her for a little while. Put her in your bed.
That's the next test. I'm going to sleep with the doll.
You have fun with that.
It doesn't have a vagina, so we don't have to worry about that.
Well, I mean, maybe it's like a weeping angel. It only moves when you're not watching.
I don't know. But I stuck a camera on it. Everybody got on there, and they're like, put an EMF detector by it. Put a recorder by it. Do this, do that. And I'm just like, guys, it's...
Oh, yeah, I came by, and you're like, you want to do EVPs with a doll? I was like, no, I don't want to do EVPs with a doll.
They were asking for it, and I'm like, man, any EVPs we take, you can't rule out contamination at all, because the first place I had it set up was in here, which this is not the most soundproof room. The windows over there, the cats were fighting all night. I was like, look, we can do it for fun. But if we get anything, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. And people were watching it all night, and they were asking the doll questions on the live stream just to see if it would do it. And the cool thing is if they would like flood the chat with hearts, sometimes the EMF detector would go up, and we couldn't figure it out. And so I had it sitting over there, and my guess is that the EMF detector was kind of spiking sometimes because there is electrical in that wall. So I turned off all the power to the room and all that good stuff. And periodically the EMF detector would kind of go up and down, and, you know, everybody kind of said their thing about it. And like I said, I'm not condoning that as a controlled experiment. It is what it is.
I mean, it would have been cool if you'd had one of those text-to-speech things, so everything that popped up in chat would be said.
He did that.
We did that for a little while.
Except we hate those things.
Yeah, I hate them. They're like, yeah, put a word bank out, and I'm like, y'all know how I feel about word. They're like, you know how I feel about word banks, right? And they're like, yeah, do it anyway. And okay.
They are fun. Admittedly, they are one of my favorite gadgets.
It said a lot of things about wanting to kill me in the word bank, and so I came in here and I turned it off after a little while. But I let it run all night, and I looked through that footage, and the damn doll didn't move. Not once.
Phil says it did.
It did not move. There was no visible movement.
And the problem with is if you stare at something we noticed this when we went to Tyler. If you stare at something for long enough, it looks like it moves. What is that effect? Maybe she wants me to patch her up. Maybe that's what's wrong with this doll.
You're just trying to steal my doll.
Just do it here.
Well, yeah, I could just fix her up a little bit.
You're already enamored with it. See, that's step one of progressive interest. Okay, so your dad thought it moved too. Your dad asked me, he's like, "Hey, did the head move?" And I think what some of the people don't realize is when I stopped doing experiments and I put it up for the night, I repositioned the doll. And so I think they're looking at the first half of the video and going towards the end and like seeing the head move real quick. But if you watch the whole video all the way through, like I have repositioned it. I also repositioned it between the two streams because I found I can only do 4 hours at a time. So did the first 4 hours, I came in and I restarted. I had repositioned in between the two times because there was stuff like falling over. And so I fixed it. When I watched both videos in fast motion, like double time, there's no change that's not my hands in there. So I think a few of the people that think it moved are mistaking what I did with it. Now, last night I changed the doll's location. I put it in my closet because that's the middle of the house and it's insulated from all the other rooms. So there's less sound contamination, but there is still some sound contamination. I just lessened it. And I said that 1,000 times last night, but we got a pretty legit EVP, which the thing is I can't 100% rule out contamination on it. But I don't know if it is contamination. And that's really the only real evidence we got out of it other than the EMF detector. So, you know our Murtec ones that we use, the littler ones that we like? All three of them are completely knocked out of calibration now. They were calibrated when I started. I left them in there, and they would read 0 for like 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and then it would tick up. Like all of a sudden it would start reading, and then it would never go back to where it would work again. So it's like it got overloaded.
So it was learning how to possess electronics.
I don't know, but I went through 3 of those detectors, and they don't work now, which I thought was weird.
Now I'm in the machine.
I also put the EMR detector on it. She set off the EMR. Oh, in the Murtec, you know how like if it gets really high levels, it turns red and gets angry at you? So I had it sitting up, and I had one like sitting flat, pointing at her, and if I would poke her in the chest like I was angry, it would make it light up red. It'd just go beep, 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 beep. So she doesn't like this.
Well, then stop it, you bonehead.
Just keep doing it.
Poor doll.
I think you could get like a dentist or a vet to X-ray it for you, see if there's anything on the inside.
Yeah.
Dude, there's probably some giant creepy alien bug in there, and when you go to sleep, it's going to come out and it's going to possess you.
You were really enamored with that doll. You said you don't like dolls. Why are you're like, oh, I got to pick it up and hold it.
It's my friend now.
I don't know why, but I keep liking it more and more.
So there was a little craziness with it. Nothing that I would call solid proof, but some stuff did pop up, and I did get a pretty good EVP last night, which I guess I can play it. Did you listen to the EVP? Let me do this.
Can you sit? Can it sit?
I don't know how much it articulates.
Not much.
I got it to sit, but I had to put it up against the wall to do it. So here we go. Let me do it this way. So I did like the full analysis on the EVP. So I need to enable the desktop audio. Thank you, Facebook, for notifying me about something I'm staring at. You're genius level with your notifications. Okay. So she thought you were bad or dangerous. Do you want to hurt me? Yes. She thought you were bad or dangerous. Do you want to hurt me? So, I know
it sounds like a little creepy kid voice too.
It does, doesn't it?
So I don't know exactly what's going on in there. So there's definitely. Here, let me blow this up for them. So anybody that's like trying to watch the video at home. So this is the area right here where the sound is, and y'all heard. What did y'all hear? Y'all heard it say yes.
It
right?
sounded like yeah.
Yeah, like it was just straight answering the question. So notice how it's lit up all different colors. That's because if you correlate it to this, what it's showing is the frequency that it's in, and that's the shorthand for it. I look at it on a spectrometer too to verify it. So like all this is me talking. So you got the red where I take breaths, but see how they're staccatoed, right? That's way up in this higher register. So that's not my voice producing that. It's just my throat produces that sound. So it's high. And then when I actually talk, it comes in the blue and the turquoise, which is in this range here. So that's my natural speaking voice.
But her voice is in the green.
Well, okay, so all this is basically silence. This is all green, and it's right here. When you zoom in on this, and I don't think I did it in the video, but when you zoom in on it, exactly where it says yes, it's bright purple. So if you go here and you cross-reference it, it's higher than my natural speaking voice, lower than my breaths. It's basically in a soprano tone. It came in at like, I got it up here. 594 hertz is what it came in. So it's like a high E.
Allie says it's gonna hurt you for poking her.
She hadn't done anything yet.
If you want to, I'll go in the closet and I can do EVPs.
I'm fine. I did them the other night. I mean, we're gonna do more tests with this doll. Like
but I'm bored.
But let me play this again. Let me turn us down in that. She thought you were bad or dangerous. Do you want to hurt me? Yes. She thought you were bad or dangerous. Do you want to hurt me?
So, even though I hated dolls, my grandma got me this talking baby doll when I was little. And it was like one of the medical ones. Ouch, my foot hurts. It's exactly what that shit sounds like.
So, here's what I found out about myself last night while I was doing paranormal investigations by myself for the first time ever. I quickly realized that I've never done any of that crap in my house, and B, I've never done it without my team backing me up. And so while I was on the live stream last night...
Oh, you mean like while I was all alone at Needful Things?
Yeah. So,
have any more respect now, Brad?
So I locked myself in the closet with this thing, and I got to admit, I didn't think it was haunted, like, at all. I was basically just having fun with it, and then I got that EVP back. The other cool thing about that EVP, it was also captured on the live stream, and if you know how shitty the audio is on that camera, then you know how loud that actually had to be. But I didn't hear it at the time. It's in the right wavelength that I should have been able to hear it, but I didn't hear it when it happened. It was only on the recorder. So the third thing I realized is, okay, so I never do anything at the house because I don't want to find out that this place is haunted.
Good call.
I never do anything without the team because I'm a big puss.
Yeah, you let me alone places.
And the third thing is if I do find something and I'm completely alone, I find logical explanations in the most far-reaching ways as possible. So last night was Halloween, and there were trick-or-treaters outside, so I'm pretty sure they contaminated the audio.
They were outside your room saying yes?
Yeah.
In a creepy doll voice.
Exactly after I asked if this doll wanted to hurt me.
Mm-hmm. Could they hear you talking outside?
No.
And they wouldn't really be able
And
to
yet,
answer
when
you.
I was alone at Needful Things, you're like, why didn't you go check and see what was in there? Why didn't you do EVPs?
I was in the closet with the doll.
So you were protecting everyone else. But
Yeah.
you were doomed.
Yeah. I was sacrificing myself for the good of the group.
We're giving it more power.
These nuts got the... Oh, my God. What the hell? No, like, it actually wasn't super scary. Like, it's weird what you get used to because Emilio was like, dude, you got balls, man. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Like, you get used to inanimate objects talking to you, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
A weird thing to get normalized to.
Okay, so the other crazy thing that happened is, and we don't use it a whole lot, but I'm going to go back to using it, is I pulled out the geophone, which is the vibration detector, and I stuck it on top of the crate, touching her foot next to her, and I got it tuned in so that if I tapped the box or the doll moved in any way, it would go off. But I could bang on the walls, I could jump up and down 2 feet next to it. I could not set this fucking thing off to save my life. Came in here, I was actually working on the Needful Things video in here while it's just live streaming in there or whatever, and I just hear beep, and I'm like, what's that? And then beep again, and I notice on there, everybody's like, hey, it's going off or whatever, and I'm like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there, and I'm watching it on the live stream. I'm like, okay, it didn't move. Maybe something just vibrated the box, like maybe a car went by and did that. I shook everything in that closet. I slammed the doors. I slammed the garage door. I put the garage door up and down. I went and started my car at one point. Nothing. I could not get it to go off. And
meanwhile, your neighbors are like, what the is that guy doing?
Well, yeah, so I couldn't get it to go off unless I directly tapped the thing or I moved Debbie the doll, and that's the only thing that would make it go off. So I have absolutely not debunked what caused the movement on the box or whatever to get that to go.
Like a tiny heartbeat.
I hate you right now, more than I've ever hated you. And so it didn't do it again for a while, and finally I signed off. I'm like, all right, you guys watch the live stream for the next 2 hours or whatever. I'm going to bed or whatever. Somewhere around like 1 a.m, I'm just in dead asleep, and I just hear beep, 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 and I'm like, no, I'm good. I just went back to sleep. I thought maybe I dreamed it. I went and looked at the comments. Kat was like, I dozed off and I heard a beep. Did I dream that? And I'm like, no. And I think Phil was on there, or yeah, I think Philip and the other guy was on there, and
knocking the fist.
Oh, and there was knocking the first night. Oh, okay. So when I had it on this wall over here, I was sitting in the other room, and I was actually, stupidly enough, I almost turned on Netflix, which the TV's on that wall, and I was like, oh shit, no, that'll contaminate that. So I was sitting there just reading through the comments, and then I just heard like a knocking in there. He's getting the car warmed up. Yeah, that's where that remote start really comes in handy. Like if we're at Kyle, it's like, hey, we gotta go. It's cool. It's unlocked. Just get in, go. Yeah, it startled me hearing that go off, and I forgot why we stopped using that app. I think we just forget to use it because we got the motion lights now. But yeah, I cannot debunk what moved in there because visually, if you look at the video, nothing has moved. So it's a minute vibration, but whatever it is, it's like
the alien
there.
demon bug that lives in it.
Yeah, you haven't X-rayed it yet, so I mean,
She
there could
might
be
have
something
shit
in there.
herself. I don't know what happened, but yeah. So those are the only two things that are kind of verified. Is that EVP, which it really could be contamination from outside.
Haha, but in a panic, it locks the doors.
Yeah. Thanks, asshole. I don't like you anymore.
I believe I was the
That
one
was
that
pretty
locked
clear
the
EVP.
doors.
Oh, I was talking about the knocking. So we got 3 knocks on the wall while it was sitting here.
It's mocking the Holy Trinity.
I think somebody said that on the feed too.
Zach Bagans.
And I was trying to debunk it as, okay, the temperature was dropping at the time, and we were
House settling.
right, but it was a pretty distinct like that. Like, it didn't sound like my wall popping. And generally, just to be honest, this wall doesn't pop a whole lot when the. I mean, my house does have like weird settling noises when it's cooling down at night, but generally it's not on this wall, not on the interior wall.
Jen, it probably is full of giant roaches.
It could be, yeah. There could be bugs in there.
I still think they're alien bugs that want to possess your insides.
There's no fucking bugs in here.
I like how he had
Did
to
you check?
You'd have to X-ray it. It could be in the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take its head off, Brad. That'll piss it off.
If you break it, whatever's in it gets out. That's how it works.
It's like a Dybbuk doll.
Yeah.
Dybbuk.
I don't know. Even with all that going on, I'm still not really that creeped out by it, because they're like, "Hey, put it in the bed and in live stream you sleeping at night," and I'm still totally cool with it. I think it wants to be friends. I think if it did say yes, it wasn't necessarily answering the question that I asked.
Yeah.
That's
probably what it was. Yeah.
That's going home with you tonight.
No, that's against the one rule. That's the only ghost hunting rule I have.
So I only know of 2 other like really famous haunted dolls. I looked up info.
Why do
on
roaches
those.
scare me more than demons? Because roaches are real.
And some of them fly.
I like that, because roaches are real. It's okay. No one like, oh, Carlos, he's your friend. Don't do that. They're going out to Kyle this weekend. I feel like we should be hiding in the bushes when they get there. I feel like that should be a thing.
Hi from Australia.
Hello.
We are far-reaching, man.
We're getting there.
14 people, all in different countries.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just surreal just being sent, because we've been wanting a haunted doll
yeah.
like forever.
So somebody heard you.
And just
Well, she said she watches the show.
yeah, and just that's why I'm also watching what I say about it, because she might be watching and then we might really upset somebody.
Unless the doll sent itself.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and I want to kill you.
Dimension of sight. Sound.
I don't know. Receiving a haunted doll anonymously is far creepier than like going and buying one or finding one somewhere and intentionally bringing it home. I don't know. I don't feel like it wants to kill me.
Yet.
I don't feel like it could. Look at it. It's tiny.
Maybe it doesn't know you well enough. I mean,
He's my brother, little brother.
all you've done so far is lock it in a room.
I wonder if my opinion of the demonic dolls changed because we watched the doll graveyard recently. Did Sarah?
saw it, yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh, so Carlos is Emilio's brother.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen him on here before.
Yeah, he was on
Oh, if
last
that's
time.
your brother, then tear him a new one. Nah.
Yeah, he's got it coming.
My kids just beat the shit out
He
of
was
each other.
talking so much smack the other night about my investigating. He's like, "Whoa, you should really go in there with another EMF detector."
with you.
No, not if you want to survive.
They really like me out at Kyle.
Unless I go.
Oh, yeah, we can't take Steven. You can only take me. They
Yeah,
only
if I
like
go,
me.
absolutely nothing will ever happen.
Why do you think something would attach itself to a doll as opposed to
Because
like
it wants
a
to scare the
place or
shit out of
whatever?
a little kid.
Wait, what is the phobia doll? It's
It's the Uncanny Valley thing.
Yeah. It looks like us, but not enough like us.
yeah. It seems common
I
to.
was just trying to be constructive.
That's what I tell myself every day. I'm just trying to be constructive. I don't know what other ways could we test to see if this doll has paranormal activity around it?
Well, it's a doll, so it's not haunted.
Now, but we have to test things like that.
Or did the poltergeists attach themselves to objects?
No. Well, they mostly attach themselves to 12-year-old girls, which is why I am glad our daughter just stays in her room.
I thought that was puberty.
So I do like the fact
it's
that
a puberty monster.
I like the fact that I got an EVP on it, but I want to create a sound box big enough to put this in to really filter out.
I honestly think if you want it to do something, we need to summon the powers of the trophies that I have. My children, the crotch goblins.
Okay.
Oh.
I know one thing I'm gonna do is.
I mean, are you worried about? I mean, legitimately, if I brought Caitlin over here to play with the doll, you're her dad. Would that bother you?
No.
Okay. You don't believe in ghosts. Why would it bother?
No.
Neither one of us do. Neither does Caitlin.
Yeah, but I also don't like disbelieve completely either. So.
But
and now that he's confronted with Debbie,
Yeah, I don't.
now that he
I
heard the
don't mind
EVP
Debbie.
that I got last night,
I just think if it was talking to a little girl and Andrew's not going to want to play with the creepy doll,
Kristen's
just scared of dolls. But we need to find a kid.
I do know one thing I want to do. Okay, I want to debunk the EMF thing, and the easy way I can do that is I'm going to set up the same setup minus the doll and put the EMF detectors for a period of time.
I think
and see
I
if
think
it does
magnetic
anything.
in any way? You get like a fridge magnet and see if it'll stick anywhere?
I think since I'm going to be here tonight, you should sit in the garage, like outside, and I should sit in the closet with the doll and do EVPs.
Okay.
That way you can...
Are we gonna live stream that? too?
Sure.
Okay.
I was just thinking that's a good way to edit out, and your roommate's not going to be home for a while, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing is when the live stream was going about 1 in the about like 12:30 to 1
Mike came home.
o'clock. No, Mike didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No, not during that time. And people were hearing talking in there. I saw like 4, and I haven't gone
Your
back and listened.
bathroom's haunted.
Maybe. That's the other thing is I wonder if the doll got sent, but whatever was attached to it still, left at the house, and the shit that I'm picking up is just what's been following us around since we pissed Kyle off.
I don't know. I've listened to a lot of your EVPs and it didn't sound like that before. Not that voice.
What
Yeah,
do you
that
mean?
is a new,
That's a new voice.
voice.
Like I pretty good with voices, and a lot of them sound like younger female voices. That one does not. That one sounds mechanical
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
because it sounds like it's vibrating.
Yeah, I make him listen to all our EVPs. So
I also noticed, like, right after the EVP, like, after it says, there's like a clicking sound, and it sounds like the frequency from the key fob on our other one. And in that click sound, it comes up in the green, which is that subsonic level, like that 20 to 35 hertz. So it's not like I'm clicking the recorder or whatever, because that would come up as like a spike, a bump, but you hear it and it's like something like that in the back, but it's at that 35 hertz. It's not in the same range as the.
but that doesn't
is
have
the
anything
word.
mechanical in it.
And my mom, when she listened to it, she said it's saying more than yes, and I asked her to say, and she said I don't know, but it sounds like it's saying more than that. But the thing is there is only purple for that one syllable. There's nothing. So if there is more words, it's below that frequency wherever that word's coming up. Another thing I tested is like when I was in there, I hit my elbow on like a, like the pole that goes across or whatever. So I've got an extra one in there, and it's just sitting on the carpet. And when I hit it with my elbow, it made like a sound, and I thought maybe that would be the yes sort of thing. But I recorded that, and I went and I played it back, and that came in at like 91 hertz. Like even if you take out the like pareidolia part of it where we're listening to it and trying to compare it that way, the waveforms just don't even match up. So I don't know. That one is like really weird and kind of hard to debunk. It's not that it's hard to debunk. I mean, it could very well be something, but
It's hard to debunk right now.
Well, there weren't any real controls on the experiment. Like, it could be an animal in the attic moving around,
That's
and then
what
the
I'm
sound
saying is
travels
it could
down
be
the wall.
literally
Right by
anything.
the-
So what do
yeah.
we have? How can we debunk it?
Because I mean, like
Yeah.
like there's tension on this head, right? So I mean, even that little creaking noise.
Brad, I'd like to hear the rest of the empty space.
Oh, yeah, I went through all that. I'm not going to play it for you now.
We could send it to you.
Yeah, we can send it to you and you can listen to it.
It
There
gets real
isn't
boring.
more. Because the thing is like, y'all can see the way I had it on here with the color coding. So it makes it real easy to pick out what's going there because I can look at the spikes in the waveform. I know to check all the spikes in the waveform. When I zoom in on it, I know to check for frequency changes that are a little bit different. So it makes it real easy to take out any of the background noise. But yes, at some point you do have to kind of go in there and just listen to it and see if you find something like basically in between the lines.
Dear God, it makes you want to just stab yourself in the ears.
Well,
after
the
a
other
couple
problem
hours.
is after you listen to it for a long enough period of time, you hear stuff where there really isn't anything, and that's the other reason we do the frequency analysis, because we're looking for frequency jumps. Because like, oh, I think I heard something there. No, you didn't, because it's just completely flatlined. There is nothing there.
So there's other haunted doll. Oh, well, I know about Annabelle and Robert.
What about Chucky? Does that one count?
That's a fake
pretty-
movie.
I saw a few
famous.
other haunted dolls, but yeah, but Robert the Doll and Annabelle are the two most famous ones, basically because supposedly they actually killed some people or whatever.
Did you catch that eye roll?
I
I
don't
could
like
hear that eye roll.
I don't like anything the Warrens have ever done because they blew their credibility on like 3 different cases.
Never had any credibility.
They did at one point.
No ghost hunters have any credibility.
Hey,
I stand by what I said.
I consider you guys ghost debunkers.
Yeah, that is more what we do.
what I really want to do is I want to build a sound like the sound coffin. I want to build a box to put her in.
Well, we don't need the whole doll. We could just chop off its head and put it in a sound coffin.
Oh my God. You do want me to die. This thing already said it wants to hurt me.
No, you could just put.
I thought that was trick-or-treaters, Brad.
You could draw and quarter the doll and put each piece in a different box.
I
and
want to
test
hook
each
it up to a
box.
battery Guantanamo Bay style and torture it
Or
into
like
talking.
like in Rambo. It's just-
I thought that
Reveal
was,
your secrets.
I thought that was just trick-or-treaters, Brad.
Burn in hell. I want to put it in a soundproof environment and run EVPs with it. And then I haven't gone through it yet, but I did run the germanium diode with it last night. And that's the one that doesn't pick up voices. So I'm real curious what it picked up. And then I just let a recorder run regular all night last night, which has got better audio than the camera. So after I listen to that, should prove to be interesting. See what happens. What other things could we do? I hooked it up to an oscilloscope to see if it could change any of the energy patterns through it. I ran 9 volts through the doll, and it basically was just like flatlined because it's not conductive, and it didn't change the pattern at all. Like I said, I can probably debunk the EMF thing.
Waterboard Debbie, Carlos says.
Waterboarder. I'm totally okay with torturing this doll into revealing its secrets.
I hope that lady's not watching.
Well, maybe after all the trouble it caused her, she wanted to experience a little.
Can
Look.
she anonymously email? Can she like make a new email that isn't attached to her and like email you that way?
I guess so. If you're watching, you could make an email. Like, we're not going to send it back, and we're not going to give out your information. You don't even need to be anonymous. So
Just if there's something she doesn't want us to do, I'd want to know.
Oh, because it was her daughter's favorite toy.
Doll, yeah. And even if she wants us to cleanse it or whatever, she might not want us drawing and quartering the doll, waterboarding
I'm
the
not
doll.
going to draw and quarter the doll.
Yes,
or
we are.
You
waterboard.
just ran electricity through it. So
We already
Okay,
electrocuted the doll.
I didn't like hook it up to the doll's nipples. I put alligator
because it's
clamps
not,
on either
according
end.
to Sarah, it's not anatomically correct. So you just had to make do.
Definitely contamination. Definitely in Rain Man voice.
Whatever.
The doll wants you dead, Brad. I'm gonna wait till you're asleep tonight, and I'm just gonna put it on your face.
I put it in the backseat of his car when he goes to
We're
work in the
gonna
morning.
fuck with him we're gonna f with him so bad.
It'd be like Allie's hot sauce.
That's still in my car.
Yeah.
I hate that hot sauce, man.
Joke's on you.
I hate that I started that hot sauce thing.
I love that you think you started that.
I stole the hot sauce.
I know, but I'm the one that decided it was.
You wouldn't go through the gate because you're a pussy.
No, because I'm fat.
No, you could have fit. If I could have fit through the gate, you could have fit through the gate.
No, I could not fit through that gate.
And I didn't really steal it. That house was abandoned.
You acquired it.
Ooh, we should go stun at that house. It's abandoned.
Take the doll.
Take the doll.
Okay. I'm fine with it.
I'm really worried about the deer stand next to the house, but it's not hunting season. So
No.
We're
not-
good.
Not yet.
we're good.
Um,
And the fence is electric. I just happen to be able to get past it.
She outsmarted the electricity.
I just went through it instead of touching anything.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Well, we had that stupid dog, Cujo, that we
Yeah.
had the electric fence set. It was one of the ones you can't see, and he would just run into it and stand there. Like he enjoyed it.
I think he just figured if he stood there long enough, it'd stop.
It never did.
No, he was dumb.
That dog was so dumb.
So whoever sent me the doll, I actually really appreciate you sending it to me. And we're making a lot of jokes and stuff like that.
But I'm seriously sorry about what happened.
Yeah.
I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old.
We really just want to see if we can
imagine.
get something out of it. You know, and I'm never going to confirm that something is haunted, but so far we got an EVP out of it and some kind of
we can confirm that
vibration.
it's not haunted.
Yeah.
Not
I don't know.
haunted.
But if anybody else has got
not
haunted items they want us to check out,
We will take all the
I want
haunted
to
items.
lock ourselves in closets with them and do stuff. Oh, but okay, so
Hey, Kristen, can you go get something out of that closet? Hold the door closed.
I want to say the most fun thing about the experiments over the past 2 days that I did, because I just wanted to put a camera on it and let it run so people could see it. So many people tuned in and they're like, "This is boring. This is boring. What's the doll supposed to do? Does it move? Make it move." And I'm like, do y'all understand?
Do you remember
What?
that theater ghost hunt thing we did? That's around about the second tour when some little kid went, "Well, what's going to happen? This is boring." And I went, "Jump, ghost. Jump." And all the parents looked at me like I was an asshole. "Dance, ghost. Do your tricks, ghosts."
Yeah, and I felt
How
like
is
that's
that
what was
supposed to work? Why would it? I mean, if things could just happen that easily, nearly on command.
every 45 minutes somebody would come in the chat and they'd go, "So what am I looking at?" Like that was they're like I'm like
Scroll up.
it's a doll. And
Jen
then
says, "I have a dog that the electric fence does not phase. The fence puts people on their butts." What is it about dogs just enjoying being electrocuted?
Probably feels good.
Cujo's just out there tweaking his nipples, just running into the fence.
I love this so hard.
Sorry, this is supposed to be a kid's show.
what's the name of the dog from the show with the puberty monster?
I don't know. I call
the
it Nathan
Bullmouse.
Fillion dog. The self-aware dog.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, it's featuring Ludacris.
Yeah, featuring Ludacris. This is imagine.
I love that its name is featuring Ludacris.
No, it has a first name, doesn't it?
God, I lost my
It's
train
like
of thought.
Pharrell featuring
Pharrell.
Ludacris.
Oh no. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
very-
I'm glad you blocked that one guy, the cynic.
Yeah,
Emilio says.
yeah. He was the guy that was like, "Hey, can you just turn on a regular light?" I'm like, "It's a full spectrum camera, even with a regular."
Was this like the troll dude from the other day?
Yeah,
Same guy or just?
yeah. I think the same guy. It was the guy that was on the feed when we were in Needful Things, and he kept demanding we do the nursery
The
rhymes.
stupid crap?
Yeah, he was like, "You need to get one person on a knee, and you need to touch fingers, and then you need to do nursery rhymes." And we're like, "Okay,
Which
well,
would have been fine, except his suggestions were outrageous. And the lady specifically said, "Don't do anything that could even remotely be construed as anti-Christian."
right, yeah."
Like,
and so
F
we
you,
didn't-
bro.
Yeah, and he had something for everything. He's like, "Well, how come you can do a full spectrum and you got to wait a week to get a light bulb?" I don't have to wait a week to get a light bulb. That's just not what this test is about. I'm sitting in the dark. I'm using of an IR light because it doesn't create any heat. Heat can cause movement. It can also cause unneeded shadows and stuff like that. Where can I get a haunted doll from? You can buy one on eBay, I guess.
You
but
can buy them on eBay, but we don't even know if this one's haunted. Catherine said that was cool, though. It felt like we could participate in the experiments.
Yeah.
You can do that on our ghost hunts too. You know, I run out of questions so fast doing EVPs.
The biggest thing we always need is
questions.
EVP questions, because I mean we have our control questions, but we burn through them so quick.
Yeah.
And so I had them actually feeding me questions for the doll.
And Kat, I like you, so you tell me to do something, I'll probably do it. Except walk through the gate and Kyle alone.
But you say you're going to do that every time, and then you don't.
I've done it twice. I feel
Yeah.
like that is enough. I did it once with the body camera strapped to me until you were like, "There's something behind you," and then I walked on air and pole vaulted the fence to get back to the other side.
She'll also do that if you tell there's just a snake near
You know
her.
what? Fuck you for that.
Yeah, but I always find it so weird, the people that jump in there, and I guess they don't understand what's going on. They're like, well, why are we just watching this doll? Well, why are you just watching this doll? Is my real question.
Well,
It's like, I know why I'm streaming it.
Taps, is it Ghost Hunters? Used to do on Halloween, they'd have the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, and they just put up 8 different cameras so people could report what
Just
there's.
watch, yeah.
And millions of people are watching this. Someone would be like, you know how many people tuned into that? Why are you watching a doll? Because people apparently are into that.
And what I thought was interesting is we, not all at the same time, obviously, but about 2,000 people watched it for at least a minute.
Yeah, I clicked on it. I wanted to know what it was.
I watched it for at least a minute.
Yeah, okay. So, and then we had about 40 people who just watched it all night.
Yeah, I saw names I'd never seen before.
Think about that. It was Halloween night. You had a buffet
Yeah,
of
that's true.
horror movies and everything to watch, and people tuned in to watch a doll sit there.
Yeah, Cat, no spiders.
A
no
haunted
spiders.
doll.
Yeah, but one person was like, oh man, this is like watching paint dry. And I'm like, well, why are you sitting here commenting? Go away.
Don't you have something better to do?
Yeah, and I felt like just telling the guy, I
Obviously,
was
we
like,
don't.
if you got so many great ideas about how you would investigate a haunted doll, go investigate your own haunted doll. Screw you, buddy. But yeah, I'm not adverse to just, setting it in normal light and putting a camera on it to see if it moves. Yeah, I could do that, but I wanted to see what it would do in IR, because
The thing about it moving is that in all of her story, it never moved while anyone was looking at it.
Yeah. And Julie brought that up in the feed. She was talking about that hypothesis, that quantum theory hypothesis, that if you observe something, you're altering the experiment. So she'll probably never move as long as I have a camera on her. That's really why I'm not scared about it at all.
You're gonna
You're
have to
always
wait till
watching?
you're asleep at night and something attacks you.
Absolutely.
Maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight.
I don't know. Oh, I don't. Did we show them the scratches on my back?
You haven't shown them. I've seen them.
Why do you have scratches on your back?
Don't know. They just showed up last
You
night.
have 2 cats. You know that, right?
I do know that, and they do look like cat scratches. But the thing is when my cats scratch me, I effing know it. I don't think I got scratched by the cats. I'm pretty sure I picked them up somewhere else and didn't notice. But yeah, I got crazy scratches on my back.
Here, you want me to come?
Yeah.
Me and all my
Jesus Christ.
Sweat, me and all my sweat plant score. You know I wear trash clothes because I never think anyone's gonna see. There's a scratch here, and there's. Yeah, I don't think those are cat scratches.
Yeah, they're pretty deep, right?
It's not just that they're deep; it's that they're not. You know how cat claws look? They don't look like.
Well,
cat
so
claws.
when I pick up Ozzy, I
There's
pick him
one-
up over here
well,
on
there
this
is
side.
one here that could have been Ozzy.
But it's the problem is it's too far down my back.
Because Mars does that.
They don't lay over my shoulder. They lay in front of me.
So there's
And
2 here, and then there's 2 that start here and go all the way. Do they hurt?
I didn't notice them till I was at work today, and my neck was itching, and I was doing this, and I felt those raised bumps, and I thought I thought my tattoo was screwed up. And so I had my buddy look at it, and he's like, dude, what have you been doing, man? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you got some big ass scratches on your back. And I was like, no.
Scratch him, Ozzy.
And I want to point out, it's a coincidence. This doll has only got 4 fingers. Making connections.
Ozzy, did you do it?
Ozzy didn't do it. Now, Ozzy did claw me the other day, like here, where I hold him, because he was wigging out. Ozzy's been lost for about a week, and Mike finally found him.
But he's back.
Brought him home.
And nicer now?
It's because I'm not holding him. He just doesn't like being picked up.
Emilio, I have cats and get scratched all the time. They don't look the same.
Yeah, they don't look like cats. I
Yeah,
get scratched all the time.
they
don't
specifically don't look like cat
scratches.
scratches. And I don't know. It's like I thought maybe they were hand scratches from when I went to go get a massage the other day because my back's been screwed up. And I thought maybe she might have done it, but they're kind of too close together unless she's wearing like some jewelry.
Yeah, no, I put my fingers right here and they didn't match. It's like in between cat and human.
Yeah. I don't
It'd
know.
be like if Anubis jumped on you.
I'm not saying they're not cat scratches. They could be. But like,
or you work with, like, don't you work in a warehouse?
yeah, but I haven't done anything for the past 4 days because my back's been out. That's the other thing is I've been laying flat on my back. Like it's not like he could have scratched me in my sleep because I've been laying flat on my back with a heating
Oh,
pad.
if it's a ghost, it could have.
It came up through the mattress.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't like this doll anymore. I think
I'll take it.
You will not.
Yes, I will. You're not the boss of me.
No, I'm not the boss of you.
we proved that in the Strictly Sickly episode.
It's true.
We already covered that.
It's funny you were asking about dominant personalities and if that changed, if that dynamic changed. No.
The dynamic has never changed.
That
I should
dynamic
have asked
has
about taking
never
that fucking
changed.
doll home during that. I was like, how would you feel
He doesn't
if I
have
asked you to
know.
take...
He doesn't have to
It's
know.
true. She could do it, and I'd never know.
If it's haunted, he would know, you know.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be like, that's the wind.
I'd be like,
That's the ghost we already had.
I don't know. Anubis is dead in the kitchen. Puke blood crap all over the world. I don't know what happened.
Do you really feel safe taking stuff home, having kids, really?
If it's gonna happen,
I
it doesn't
don't
matter if you
believe
have
in
kids.
ghosts.
When we first started doing this, you were like, I don't believe in it, but, you know, it wouldn't be smart to bring it around my kids.
Just
I
hedge your
changed my
bets.
mind. I think it's stupid.
You're sucking the fun out of everything.
Good.
You should be cool, Sarah.
You're fired. I'm taking Steven. At least he's got a healthy
Oh, so he
fear of this
can
doll.
narrate your death.
That's what the doll's for.
You're never going to get any EVPs because Steven's going to be back there like, and then the monster jumped out of the wall and ate his face.
I think that what I did there was excellent camera work. Somebody needed to say it, so I did.
I don't know. I'm really enamored with this doll right now, but I need to finish the Needful Things. Now, see, when we go back to do the reveal at Needful Things, I want to take that into the antique store and show Sunny because she's an expert.
Oh yeah, she can tell you more about it if there's anything to know about it.
Yeah, so she might. Now, I did do one thing. So it came anonymously, but I did look up the tracking number, and it doesn't show me the name and address it came from, but it did show me that it came from Iowa.
Oh, there's a lot wrong with Iowa.
Isn't that like?
It does look handmade, though.
Isn't that like Puritan country? Isn't that like where the?
Like
That's
Amish country?
Pennsylvania.
Well, no, they're everywhere.
Isn't it like
But-
Iowa? Isn't that like where all the Amish are?
No,
Pennsylvania.
it's Pennsylvania. But
There's probably Amish people in Iowa. I mean, we have,
I think there's something here in Texas, so
no, we have Mennonites.
By minute.
it's like Amish light.
Yeah, it is. It's an Amish light.
Ashton, you seem skeptical on Wednesday. Has your opinion changed on it all? Oh, Tuesday. I'm always
Yes,
gonna be. I'm
I'm
gonna be
creepy.
skeptical, but
Creepy.
I do find it interesting. Do I really think this doll got up in the middle of the night and scratched my back? No. Do I know how I got those scratches? No.
It wasn't me.
I think I actually like in my heart of hearts. I think the EVP is as legitimate as any other EVP we got. I don't know that it's actually connected to this doll, and that's something that we kind of talked about before. We've done so many investigations at this point that even by accident we should have run across something real at some point.
There is an Amish city in Iowa.
It's in Johnson County.
Interesting.
Johnson County, Iowa.
I mean, it doesn't look like an Amish doll. It's got too many colors. I was just...
Well,
But-
dollars are meant to be fanciful.
It looks like something from Children of the Corn. That's what it...
It's not stuffed with corn.
Is there a lot of corn in Iowa?
It's got that kind of feel to it. Like, it doesn't quite look Victorian.
Anyway, Brad goes through phases. There's phases where he's like, this is all bullshit and this is stupid. And then there's phases where he's running out of a jail cell because something grabbed him.
Something grabbed me.
It was the wind.
Something. The wind can't grab you.
Okay, then what was that Needful Things?
Come here. Give me your hand.
Yep.
Does that feel like a grab?
Yep. Then what was it Needful Things when you were telling me I was full of shit?
I didn't tell you were full of shit.
Why didn't you go out the back and check what it was? Why didn't you take EVPs?
I did none of those. I can play the recording back. None of those things came out of my mouth. I said, did you? I said, can you? I didn't say, why didn't you? I know why you didn't, because you were trying not to gently shit yourself in that antique chair.
It's not what you said, Brad. It's what you meant.
My plan was to break the window with the closest antique and climb out.
I saw you eyeing that window in the... you hear like... And she's like...
I can get out that.
I'm good.
I started aggressively ignoring things.
I've never seen somebody look at their phone so hard before.
Know the thing that lives in the doll's crate. Yeah, okay, so...
Yeah, the giant roaches.
Here's the deal. I know the doll didn't get up in the middle of the night and scratch me because I had a camera on it all freaking night. The doll didn't move. Now, whatever lives inside this doll, the roaches...
That now lives in your bathroom with the other ghost?
That's what I'm really worried about. So, like I said,
conspire.
I have never done investigations here before, right? But there's something menacing that lives in the bathroom and stares at us at night, right?
Is it lactose intolerant?
So the shit I was doing in my closet last night next door to the
You caught the EVPs from your bathroom.
Yeah.
We have to ghost hunt your bathroom.
I hate... Oh, God.
But you have to do it without the doll in the house, though.
This is why we need a lab. So when I do this stuff, we can do it in a lab and not in my effing house.
I want to ghost hunt your bathroom.
Fine, we'll ghost hunt the bathroom. We'll put Debbie in the bathroom tonight.
Well, then how will you know whether it's Debbie or the bathroom?
Will it matter? Will it really fucking matter?
We already know the bathroom's on it. I just want to see if they join forces.
That would be interesting.
So on next episode of Dolls Gone Wild...
I'll be running it because Brad will be dead.
Oh, what if it teaches it how to infect all your other dolls in here? Action figures.
Why
Sorry.
would you say that?
I mean, Venom could be pretty creepy if he was moving
Why
around
would
your
you?
house.
Why would you do this?
What? You got this little nerd sanctum with all these dolls in here, so...
These are my friends.
Any
They'll
one of
protect
them,
me.
any one of them could
They'll
just
kill
get
you.
down and murder you.
And so many of them have weapons, too.
Yeah. They are all, like, battle ready.
He's talking about the... But I've got Ghostbusters in here.
Oh, so they can be evil Ghostbusters now.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate y'all so much right now.
Egon's gonna get you so hard.
Y'all suck.
They climb out of their packages.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
mad
like,
at ruined the value.
I want to test out more haunted objects, but like I feel like if I do the thing where I go on eBay and I look for a haunted doll, I mean, I know at
How
least...
much random crap are you gonna find?
Well, I know a portion of it is coming from somebody that's a former member of our group. So
Yeah.
that's how I know the dolls are bullshit, because...
Oh, Jen says the bathroom I use, because I was totally creeped out in there. It's the big bathroom that sits off Brad's bedroom. The one with the giant bathtub and the stand-up shower. I've had a sleep paralysis episode involving that bathroom, and Brad has had bad dreams involving that bathroom. Well, a sleep paralysis episode involving that bathroom.
Yeah, and it just generally feels creepy if you just leave the door open at night. It didn't used to be that way
I
until we
always
started.
shut that. Like, I was like leaving the other day, and I was like, I left it open. Run back and shut it real fast.
What's funny, okay, so I got this weird thing where when I go, if it's completely dark in both the bathroom and I go to shut the door, I can't walk into the bathroom to shut it because I might see something in the mirror. So I always just like, I'm looking back towards the bed and I'll reach in and grab the door and I'll close it real quick.
Oh, see, I walk in there in the
No.
middle of the night with no light on.
No, see, what you do is completely normal. I do the same thing. Also, the shower curtain cannot be drawn.
Oh, no,
all
you
the
can't
time.
have the shower
It's
curtain
got to be
closed.
on one side or the other. The only
So
time
I
it's drawn
can't
is
use
when there's
Mike's
somebody in
bathroom.
there.
I can't use Mike's bathroom because
You-
someone pulls that shower curtain
No,
and
I
I'm like,
That's me.
I just move it. Just move it.
I don't want to know what's in the...
Because you
I don't want to know
gotta
what's in
check.
there.
You gotta check.
It's Piggy Man.
I don't know what's in there,
American
but you
Horror
gotta
Story
check.
reference. Oh, I need to catch up on American Horror Story.
You mean hot garbage?
Shut up.
Yeah, thank you. It's like up to season 3, it was good, and then after that,
I don't remember ever liking it.
I liked the first 3 seasons.
I like the one. I kind of liked the one with the witches.
Coven.
Yeah. Because
Well, this
Kathy
one
Bates,
has the witches in
Does
it.
it have Kathy Bates in it?
Kathy Bates is hot.
Yes. Hot Kathy Bates action. There was a movie where she was naked. I only watched the 10 seconds where that happened.
I mean, if you piss it off, you have people, and I have people who can get it out. Yeah, true.
Not if it-
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, Emilio, he was like, "Man, you got balls, man." The thing is if something really...
No, you don't.
No, I don't. But I am fairly confident that as visible as we are as paranormal investigators, we can find somebody to come help. Somebody will come get rid of
Well,
it.
if you want if it's a Christian ghost, my mom will get rid of it. If it's a voodoo ghost, Rose will come get rid of it.
I don't think, if we did run into something, I don't think anything would get rid of it because I don't believe in it in the first place. I think a demon would get really frustrated with me because it'd be like, "I want to kill you," and I'm like, "Hey, get out of my head! God, I need to take more pills."
Could you do that on the microphone for me? I want to hear it.
Yeah, can you talk into the mic?
Can you talk into this little orange light here? Can you maybe get on camera over there?
Oh, this is awesome! Oh, look, I'm bleeding. It's making me bleed.
It's cutting me right now.
Oh my God.
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
They're talking about American Horror Story. I'm still very early on in the latest one, so I don't know yet.
I don't know. So,
But yeah, the last 2 were garbage.
we got any events or anything coming up?
We got the ghost hunt at the jail. Well, that's really our interviews, though, right?
Well, no, it's going to be.
Okay.
And initially, I said I wasn't going to live stream, but we might fire up the live stream.
If something
For a little
horrifying happens, yeah, okay.
I might set the live stream up in just live stream a room instead of us carrying it around and trying to talk to him and stuff like that. I might just set it up like I did with the doll, where it's just in a corner and it's monitoring one of the rooms and it's just going.
I would really like to go back to Kyle during the winter because I want to do more on that animal trail behind the fence, and I don't want to do it now because spiders. I want to do it once it's cold and the spiders are gone.
I'm trying to think of cool places to take this doll. I can't think of anything but the stupid doll right now.
Well, Kyle, the antique store, my house, my mom's house.
There you go. Match those super high EMFs with the doll. See if you can get it to talk to you.
I wonder if there's anybody that doesn't watch our podcast that we're friends with that says that they're sensitive or whatever, and we could give them this doll and see if any of their stuff lines up with the story. But the problem would be it'd have to be somebody that hasn't watched the podcast or...
Hey, take this creepy doll for a little while.
Yeah.
See any rational person accepting a creepy doll for no good reason.
Well, none of our friends are rational.
And how can I give you EVP questions if you don't carry the live stream? I usually do carry the live stream. We've been... You started that new thing, though, where you set it on a tripod.
Yeah.
I used to carry the live stream.
What was the question?
Oh, I was talking about her giving me EVP questions.
Oh, yeah, but we have our phones with us the whole time. Like, when I was live streaming this the other night, you know, it was in the closet, but I was watching the live stream on my phone, so I could sit there and read y'all's comments with y'all and stuff. So, yeah, just because I've got a live stream. And I found out I can use both cameras, and I can have 2 live streams going at the same time on Facebook. It'll just be 2 different posts. So I could stream 2 different rooms, or on newer investigations, I could stream a room the whole time, and then on the other one, it can be following us around.
I prefer to carry the live stream because I don't like being on camera.
But you're going to end up on camera anyway.
I'm on camera less if I carry the live stream.
I don't know. I just ordered a $1,300 camera that's going to be here on Saturday, so you're probably going to be on camera a whole hell of a lot more. But I'm coming up with like some new rigs in the way we do stuff too, so should be interesting. And I'm going to set up a lot more static cams instead of like having 15 handheld cams that I switch around. Now that I've got I basically bought the same camera your dad's got, so I'm going to take all those extra ones and I'm just going to set them up on tripods in different rooms because they all have their own audio. Mm-hmm. And then I can just set up the recorders on the ones for the CCTV so we can cover a way wider range.
Julie says, I'm thinking y'all need a safe word.
It's banana. It's always been banana.
No, it's
Pineapple juice.
it's armadillo.
It's not good if we don't all know the same safe word.
I wrote that story, and it is
Oklahoma.
armadillo.
Oklahoma.
It's armadillo.
But we agreed that it was banana.
No, that's Family Guy.
And that's where I got it from.
It's armadillo because that's what I wrote into Dimension
It's
134B.
It's funny when you tell somebody the wrong safe word. That's
What's the safety word? Onomatopoeia. No.
no. He wants me
No.
to hit him harder. They did that on Jackass. They took him to that dominatrix thing. And they're like, the safe word's Oklahoma, and so she's like beating his ass, and he's just Oklahoma, Oklahoma, and she just thinks he's weird. Just like whatever.
What was the one on Eurotrip where you couldn't
Oh,
pronounce
it's like
it?
Oxford, but I can't check out the phone. It's like 30 letters long.
Our safe word's armadillo.
Okay, so
Good that I know that now.
it's not an NT Paranormal After Dark episode unless we've done Mary F. Kill,
Mary of Kill.
and we have our contestants right here.
Oh God.
Robert the Doll.
It's your first time
I don't even
playing.
know who Robert the Doll is.
Okay, well, hold on.
I mean,
I got a quick
I mean,
little synopsis here.
Play match
The
game
doll
right quick.
originally belonged to Robert Otto, an artist described as eccentric who belonged to a prominent Key West family. The doll was reportedly manufactured by the Steiff Company in Germany, purchased by Otto's grandfather while on a trip to Germany in 1904 and given to young Otto as a birthday gift. The doll's sailor suit, important, he's wearing a sailor suit,
That's true.
was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child. The doll remained in storage of the Otto home on 530. Blah, 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 blah. Otto married Annette Parker in Paris on May 3rd, 1930. The couple returned to the Otto family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife died 2 years later. After their deaths, the Eaton Street home containing the doll was sold to Myrtle Rutter, who owned it for 20 years until the property was sold. Legend. Okay, here's the shit about the doll.
Yeah, that's the important bit.
Yeah, they have this arranged weird. Okay, according to legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Some versions of legend claim that a young girl of Bohemian descent gave Otto the doll as a gift or as retaliation for a wrongdoing. Other stories claim the doll moved voodoo figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Still, other legends claim that the doll vanished after Otto's house changed ownership a number of times after his death, or that young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural powers by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll. According to local folklore, the doll has caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes.
Jen, that movie is Before I Wake.
And museum
Sorry.
visitors supposedly experience post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect Robert. So people that are told to, people that want to take a picture of the doll, they have to ask the doll's permission first before they take a picture of Robert the doll or something bad happens.
It's a German control freak.
And Annabelle,
Yes.
you know about Annabelle.
Here's what he looks like, by the way. So it's funny, it says he changes facial expressions because it's just this blank piece of wood with like...
Looks like a
Yeah,
prototype
Jen's
for a-
asking about, he saw a movie where a kid's dreams played out in real time. The movie is Before I Wake. The kid's Jacob Tremblay. He's also the kid from the movie Room, which don't watch if you don't want to cry.
Okay, so Annabelle...
He knows about Annabelle.
Okay, does everybody knows about Annabelle? Not the fucking movie Annabelle, which that I hate
Can
when
I
they.
not count the movie? She's famous.
But I hate when they're like, "This is based on a true story," and you watch Annabelle, and it's like this really scary, evil-looking doll, and then it's like basically like Chucky murdering people.
Do you have a picture of Annabelle?
It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, it's just a Raggedy Ann
that's
doll.
lame.
Yeah, the real Annabelle is just a giant Raggedy Ann doll.
Okay, so fuck, marry, kill. Pick one.
You guys go first.
And then, of course, we have Debbie.
Debbie.
Okay, I'm going to,
I went first last time, so.
I don't want to F a doll. That's gross.
Millions of people do it every day, and it's totally natural.
If it was a sex bot, maybe.
I'm going to marry Debbie.
Why?
She seems perfectly safe.
And she only wants to hurt you.
I'm going to kill Annabelle because I'm tired of the shitty movies. And I'm going to Robert.
He's made of wood and he's splintering.
He can change his facial expressions. At least I'll know if he's enjoying it. Steven?
Okay. I also would kill Annabelle. Crappy
Wanda.
horror movie. I would probably fuck Debbie for sure, because I've already seen what's going on down there. and I would marry.
Ashton's already sleeping with it. True.
And then I guess I would marry the German control freak, because they're gonna have all their shit together. They've got to have the job, and he's obviously a sailor, and so I don't have to worry about him being home all the time.
I love how all of our marries come down to financial security.
Because I don't want to have to worry about my own financial security.
It's just funny because someone from England was like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, "Healthcare." He's like, "But what do you mean? We get healthcare for girls?" Like, it's America.
Yeah,
he
America,
was like, "Oh yeah,
financial security is the only
okay,
thing
Brad. We already
about.
know you're sleeping with one of them. You should probably make an honest woman out of her."
She's Amish after all.
She seems young. She seems like she's a minor. That's not an adult doll.
How old is 14 really, Brad?
It's the peak.
I'm going to marry her because it's the South.
Catherine says, F Debbie, marry Robert, kill Annabelle.
Same.
I'm gonna F Annabelle. Okay? Because there's no way I'm effing Robert. He's a sailor. Do you know what kind of diseases he's carrying?
All the right ones.
He has got a doll in every port, and I do not want a doll STD.
But I mean, that speaks to the level of experience, though.
Has your wiener turned porcelain? Is that what happens? Bye, Julie. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, that's it for today's show. I think Sarah wants to go into the closet and try to do some EVPs with this doll. Do you want to do that tonight?
I don't care.
Or do you want to do that tomorrow night?
I don't care. Tomorrow night's fine.
I tell you what, guys. Tomorrow night we will do a live stream and we'll do some more experiments with Debbie, and this time Sarah will get in on it.
And I'm gonna snuggle with it tonight.
Yeah, we'll put it in the bed tonight, and we'll see how that goes. I bet she gets the cat to suffocate you.
She's been trying to do that for months anyway.
I know, I just want to blame the doll for something. Like these scratches on my back.
From the doll sex.
Oh my god. Okay, that's it. So
what was it doing back there?
So the 15th, we will be streaming live from Denton, Goatman's Bridge.
Goatman Bridge.
With the Unseen Paranormal people,
Whoop, whoop.
Heidi. They're going to come out, and you know what? We'll show Heidi the doll.
Catherine says tonight. Tonight live stream. 2 people have said tonight live stream.
Maybe I can set it up over here in this closet, just like I did last night. Just another 4 hour and just let it roll. But I'm not up to doing, I'm hungry. I'm not up to doing experiments tonight.
Well, if you go eat, I'm not hungry. I can stay here and do some stuff.
Okay, I'll set up a live stream tonight. I'm not promising that we're doing anything with the doll. Sarah thinks she's doing something with this stupid doll, so.
I was just gonna do EVPs. I just meant while you were gone to get food.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. There's going to be an EVP session with Debbie the doll. And
while I'm doing it, if I'll do a short one, then if I think of anything cool to do, then we can do a longer one next time.
Okay. So, anyway, there's going to be several live streams with Debbie the doll over the next few weeks, I imagine. And she'll probably turn up at some of our investigations, I think. Because we don't have any trigger. We left our trigger objects in Tyler for the little... for the little girl that lives at the theater or whatever. So we haven't had any toys.
We made our fans happy with the live stream.
Did we?
Who cares how we feel? Our fans want stuff.
All right. Okay. So we're going to do some more stuff with Debbie, and I think Debbie is our new trigger. So even if she's not haunted, it's my goal to get her haunted. So that's kind of where...
It's like a paranormal STD.
Yeah, that's where I'm at it.
Speaking of ghost or doll STDs, apparently ghosts are a doll STD.
Okay, so we're going to sign off. I'm going to get something to eat, and here in a little while I'll have a new live stream set up. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Later.
I really liked being on the show. It was really good. Bye. Aww.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did and you would like to know more about NT Paranormal and our research, please visit us at www.ntparanormal.com.
ntparanormal.com or our Facebook page at facebook.com/ntparanormal. You can also check out our book, After Dark Paranormal Investigations, True Cases of the NT Paranormal Team on amazon.com, or find our articles in Paranormal Hauntings magazine. Before we go, we would also like to thank our supporters at Paranormal Hauntings magazine, Paranormal Investigations Equipment, PIE, Ghost House Paranormal, the Granbury Paranormal Expo, and the Tyler Paranormal Conference. Until next time, everyone stay safe out there and stay open-minded.